Okay, so let's dive into this AI revolution that everyone seems to be talking about these days. You sent over some excerpts from Dr. Lawrence Capri's book, How to Handle the AI Revolution. And it seems like you're trying to get a handle on, how AI is really impacting the world right now. And more importantly, how it's going to impact you, personally. And I think that's what's really interesting about this book. So we're going to cover everything from how AI is already part of your life, every single day, to its implications for your job, your family, healthcare, and even creativity.
Yeah, it's fascinating how Dr. Capri really emphasizes that personal impact of AI right from the get-go. He really stresses that we need to be equipped to thrive in this new world, not just survive, just get by.
Yeah, and what really struck me right away was how he highlights that AI is already part of our lives. We're talking facial recognition on our phones, personalized recommendations on Netflix, even just the routes we take on Google Maps. It's not some, far off thing. AI is here, it's happening now,
Wow.
we're using it already all the time.
Totally. It's like we're living in, the early chapters of some sci-fi novel, but it's like it's actually our reality. Dr. Capri calls this narrow AI. And it's basically AI systems that are designed to be, like masters of very specific tasks. So think of like Siri. It's brilliant at answering questions, setting reminders, but you wouldn't, expect it to write a symphony or something.
Exactly. And that brings us to the next level of AI that Dr. Capri talks about, general AI. And this is where things get really, really interesting. We're talking about AI that actually functions like human intelligence, capable of learning, adapting, problem solving across a whole bunch of different areas. But, before you start picturing like a, robot uprising, the good news is general AI is still just a concept, not a reality yet.
Right. Dr. Capri actually makes the point that instead of fearing AI, we should actually look at it as like a powerful ally.
I like that.
For example, he suggests using AI-powered scheduling apps to reclaim an average of like 2 hours per week.
2 extra hours a week. Where do I sign up?
Think about what you could do with all that extra time.
That's awesome. And let's not forget AI's potential, in healthcare. I mean, remember that story about Linda in the book? AI actually helped her doctors devise a personalized treatment plan for her breast cancer, analyzing all this data to find the most effective approach for her specific case.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like having a team of like invisible experts working behind the scenes. They're analyzing patterns and insights that humans might miss.
Yeah.
And this is what's really interesting is this data crunching power of AI is transforming how we approach complex problems, not just in healthcare, but like across so many different fields.
Now we can't really talk about AI without addressing the elephant in the room, which is jobs. Everyone's wondering if robots are going to take over the workforce. And, Dr. Capri acknowledges that fear of job displacement, but he also emphasizes that AI is creating, a whole new set of opportunities.
He argues that we're seeing a shift in, the skills that are most valuable. It's no longer enough to just be good at your job. You need to be adaptable, digitally literate, and a lifelong learner.
He even suggests specific roles like AI specialists, data analysts, and AI trainers, jobs that literally didn't even exist a few years ago. So it's like a whole new career landscape is emerging right in front of us.
Yeah. And it's not just about learning to use AI. It's about understanding its impact on industries and how to position yourself for success in this changing environment.
Okay, so AI is changing how we work, but it's also changing, our home lives, right? I was fascinated by his vision of AI-powered homes that adapt to our family's needs, virtual babysitters, and even AI assisting with, elder care. That sounds like something out of a movie, but it's closer than we think.
Yeah, Dr. Capri actually explores both the opportunities and the challenges of this deep integration of AI,
Hmm.
into our personal lives. He suggests that AI could help strengthen family bonds by improving communication, but he also cautions against becoming overly reliant on technology. We still need that real human connection, especially in our families.
It's a delicate balance, right? AI can be an amazing tool, but we need to use it responsibly and make sure it doesn't, replace genuine human interaction. And speaking of pushing boundaries, what about AI and creativity? That section really blew my mind.
Yeah, AI is a partner in the creative process. It's a total game changer. We're seeing AI tools that can, generate art in the style of like Van Gogh or compose music that evokes specific emotions.
I know, it's crazy, right? Dr. Capri asks these, big questions about like the nature of art in this AI era. Can AI really be an artist? What does it even mean for something to be creative when you've got a machine involved? These are questions we're going to be asking ourselves for a long time as AI gets even more sophisticated.
And speaking of complex issues, we can't forget about ethics. Dr. Capri actually dedicates a whole chapter to the ethical considerations surrounding AI, focusing on privacy and the need for transparency and accountability, in AI development.
He's a big proponent of global collaboration to make sure that AI is used ethically and, benefits all of humankind.
He says that it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we as a society choose to use it. He even suggests developing ethical guidelines and regulations, to prevent AI from being misused.
So it's not just about embracing the technology, it's about shaping its development and making sure it actually serves humanity. What I really found helpful were his tips on how to prepare for this, AI powered future for ourselves and our children. Lifelong learning adaptability, digital literacy, these are the keys to thriving in the AI era.
He really hammers that home. He says that we can't just be passive observers. We need to actively engage with AI and be prepared to adapt as it evolves.
It's like he's giving us this roadmap, for navigating this whole new world. But with all this talk about AI changing the world, I'm curious to hear more about how it's going to impact our everyday lives, especially within our families. What does he have to say about that?
That's where things get really interesting. He paints this picture of a future where AI is deeply integrated into our homes, almost like a silent partner helping us manage our daily lives.
Like those AI powered homes, the ones that adjust to our needs, like something out of a sci fi movie.
Exactly. Like imagine a home that learns your family's routines and just adjusts accordingly, like turning on the lights when you come home, preheating the oven as you start dinner, even managing energy consumption to save you money.
Wow, that would be pretty amazing. But I mean, could we become too reliant on these systems? Like, would we forget how to do anything ourselves?
That's actually one of the concerns that he addresses. He argues that while AI can make our lives, easier, we need to be careful not to become overly dependent on it. It's about finding that balance, between embracing convenience and maintaining our own skills and independence.
It's like with any technology, right? It's a tool and it's up to us to use it wisely. But, he doesn't just focus on the downsides. He also sees AI as a way to actually strengthen family bonds.
Yeah, he suggests that AI-powered devices could actually be like a central hub for family life,
Hmm.
helping with communication scheduling, even suggesting activities, that
Yeah.
everyone might enjoy. It's like having a personal assistant for the whole family.
Okay. I can see how that could be helpful, especially for busy families where everyone's juggling a million things. But again, it comes back to balance, right? Making
Yeah.
sure AI enhances our relationships and doesn't actually replace those real human connections.
Absolutely. He's very clear about that. He says that AI should complement our relationships, not be a substitute for them. We still need to make an effort to connect with each other,
Hmm.
on a personal level without relying on technology to do the work for us.
Well said. Okay, so we've talked about AI managing our homes, and potentially improving family dynamics. But what about parenting? Does he talk about that?
Oh, yeah, he dives right into it. He talks about the rise of AI-powered parenting assistants that offer personalized guidance, throughout a child's development. It's almost like a 24/7 parenting expert on call.
Wow, that sounds incredibly helpful. What kind of things can these AI assistants do?
Think of it this way. They can analyze your child's sleep patterns, eating habits, behavioral changes, and they provide suggestions for improving their health and well-being. They can even track developmental milestones and recommend educational activities, based on your child's age and abilities.
Wow, that sounds like a game changer for parents. I imagine it's also important to, find a balance between relying on AI and trusting our own instincts as parents. We don't want to outsource parenting to a machine.
Exactly. He emphasizes that AI should be like a supplement to our own, knowledge and intuition, not a replacement. We need to be actively involved in our children's lives and make decisions based on what we believe is best for them.
That makes sense. We can't just hand over the reins to AI and expect it to raise our kids for us. But speaking of kids, how is AI impacting education? Is it just these personalized learning platforms he talks about?
That's a big part of it. Imagine personalized learning platforms that use AI to tailor educational content to each student's needs and their own unique learning style. It's like having a personal tutor for every child.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. How do these platforms actually work?
They assess a student's strengths and weaknesses, and then they adjust the pace and difficulty of lessons, accordingly. And they could even provide real-time feedback and suggest additional resources, to help students progress.
Wow, that sounds incredibly effective. I can see how this could be a game changer, especially for students who, struggle in traditional classrooms. It seems like AI could create a more inclusive and engaging learning environment for everybody.
And he believes that's exactly the potential that AI holds for education, a more personalized and engaging experience for all students.
But what about teachers? Will they become obsolete in this, AI-powered future?
He argues that teachers will actually be more important than ever. While AI can handle things like grading and, delivering personalized lessons, teachers will be crucial for fostering those, you know, uniquely human skills like critical thinking, creativity, social emotional learning. Those are things that AI can't replicate.
Okay, that's reassuring. It makes sense that human connection and guidance are still essential, even in a world where AI is playing, a larger role in education.
He envisions teachers evolving into mentors, facilitators, and guides, helping students navigate this complex AI-driven world.
So it's not about replacing teachers, it's about empowering them with AI tools and allowing them to focus on what they do best, inspiring and nurturing young minds.
Exactly. It's about, leveraging the strengths of both AI and human educators to create, a truly transformative learning experience for students.
Speaking of transformation, AI is also shaking up the way we create and consume entertainment. I've heard about AI generating music and art, but he talks about something even more intriguing, personalized entertainment experiences. What exactly does he mean by that?
Imagine AI systems that know your preferences so well, they can recommend movies, TV shows, music, all tailored to your unique tastes. They could even create custom playlists or, generate artwork that matches your individual style.
Wow, that's next level personalization.
Yeah,
It sounds like AI is making entertainment much more interactive and tailored to individual preferences.
it is. And he suggests it goes even further. He talks about AI's potential to create entirely new forms of entertainment that blur the lines between, the digital and physical worlds.
Like what? Give me an example.
Imagine AI-powered virtual reality experiences that are so immersive and realistic that you feel like you're actually there, or AI-generated stories that adapt to your choices, creating a unique narrative,
Yeah.
each time you play.
Wow, that's pretty mind-blowing. It sounds like the future of entertainment is going to be incredible, but with all these changes happening across so many different areas, it makes me wonder, is there anything AI isn't changing?
Well, one area where AI is having a particularly profound impact and one that he dedicates, significant time to is the future of work.
Right, we touched on this earlier, but I'd love to dive a bit deeper. What specific changes does he see happening, in the workplace?
He talks about AI automating many of the tasks that are currently done by humans, which, could lead to job displacement in certain sectors. It's a concern that a lot of people have.
For sure. What does he suggest we do to prepare for these changes? Should we all just learn to code?
While technical skills are important, he emphasizes developing those uniquely human skills that are difficult for AI to replicate, things like creativity,
Hmm.
critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and complex problem solving.
So it's not just about understanding AI, it's about leveraging our human strengths in a way that, complements AI's capabilities.
Exactly. He argues that those human skills will actually become even more valuable in an AI-powered workforce. He also stresses the importance of lifelong learning and adaptability.
Yeah.
The workplace of the future is going to be constantly evolving. So we need to be prepared to learn new skills and embrace new ways of working.
It's a good reminder that we can't afford to be complacent. We need to be proactive in developing our skills and, staying ahead of the curve.
I agree. He encourages us to view AI not as a threat, but as an opportunity. By embracing AI and developing the right skills, we can create a future where AI and humans work together to achieve, incredible things.
Okay, so AI is changing the workplace, but what about transportation? How's AI impacting how we get around?
One of the most exciting developments is the rise of autonomous vehicles or, self-driving cars powered by AI. He believes they have the potential to revolutionize transportation.
I've heard a lot about self-driving cars, but I'm still a bit skeptical. Do you think they'll really become mainstream?
He seems to think so. He believes that self-driving cars could make transportation safer, more efficient, and more accessible.
Yeah, I guess I can see how they could be safer if they eliminate human error.
Exactly. AI-powered vehicles can react faster than humans and make decisions based on real-time data, which could drastically reduce accidents.
And I imagine they'd be more efficient, especially if they can optimize routes and avoid traffic jams.
Precisely. And self-driving cars could provide transportation options for people who are unable to drive themselves, like the elderly or people with disabilities.
Those are some pretty compelling arguments. It sounds like self-driving cars could have a huge impact on society.
Absolutely. But he also acknowledges the challenges, that come with this technology.